Why, hello there. Might I ask which floor happens to be your destination? Well, I ask not only because I happen to be situated closer to the floor control buttons, but also out of personal curiosity. I do not mean to rudely intrude upon your business, though I must say that wherever you're headed must be a rather pleasant place indeed, just based on how you're dressed. I apologize if it seems forward for me to say so. I consider myself to be quite the eloquent gentleman when it comes to my general disposition, and I would not wish to give you any other impression with our first meeting. That said, I find it rather difficult not to express some enthusiasm whenever I encounter attractive humans such as yourself. Oh, I apologize. I mean no disrespect by that remark. Quite the contrary, I merely meant to imply that I find the company of such humans to be quite pleasant in nature. So if you would not mind my presence, I would certainly like to... If we're being honest, you seem just a tad uncomfortable. Is it because I am a spider? Well, I would sincerely hope that such a thing would not hinder our budding relationship. You see, I used to live in the underground among the other monsters. After we were freed, I was surprised to learn that many of my brethren had remained upon the surface world, and what's even stranger, these surface spiders were not actually seen by humans as monsters, but instead believed to be common, unintelligent pests. It must be quite shocking to find out that we are actually a quite sentient species of monster. So you see, you have no reason to be unnerved by my presence. While you might associate my appearance with that common misconception, I'm actually an intelligent and powerful being who has spent most of his life locked away in the darkness of the underground due to the cruel actions of mankind. Wait, that actually doesn't sound very good when I put it that way. My apologies, human. What I meant to say is we are not so different as you might think, and as a spider who has found himself to have a particular affinity for humans just recently, I would hope that you and I could have the opportunity to get to know one another. And if those lovely clothes of yours end up on my bedroom floor later, then... Oh, no, please forgive me. I did not mean to be rude or unseemly. Like I said, sometimes my enthusiasm gets the better of me. Certainly I would have no intent to take advantage of a human such as yourself, regardless of whatever carnal attraction might exist between us. Am I reading those signals wrong? Oh, I apologize. Perhaps I should just stop talking. What am I doing? Oh, well, I had meant for it to be a surprise. I am making an apology sweater for you as an expression of my good intentions. How am I making it? Well, I am a spider after all. I have a limitless supply of silk on hand at all times. Don't ask where it comes from, that's not important. What is important is that it is white and sticky, and I'm attempting to put it on you as an expression of my affection. Okay, wait, I see how that could have sounded wrong in hindsight, but I assure you this sweater will be some of the finest and most luxurious fabric you shall ever encounter. I always had dreams of being a tailor of sorts, and making such a piece for you has brought me indescribable joy. I hope you can find it within your heart to accept my gift. Oh, you will? Oh, wonderful. Well, give me just another moment. It's almost finished. There we are. Alright, try it on real quick. So, just out of curiosity, You wouldn't happen to be single, would you? Oh, no particular reason. I assure you that I do not have any perverse motives or intentions towards you. After all, your relationship status would not be particularly important to me if I did. Oh, wait, that also sounds bad when I put it that way. Please ignore that last statement. I simply meant to express my utmost sincerity and chivalrous consideration towards you and your personal space. Speaking of personal, I realize now that I have been quite impersonal in failing to greet you properly. Might I ask your name? Why, that might be the loveliest name I've ever heard. I never encountered any such names among my fellow monsters in the underground, and it has quite the pleasant ring to it. I myself go by Muffet, Thomas Aurelia Muffet in full. I'd love to hear more about you. What do you do for a profession? Do you have any siblings? And what's your favorite position for intercourse? And what are your measurements? I probably should have asked about your measurements before I made that sweater for you. Oh well, it seems to fit quite well enough as is. The question I asked before. Oh, I was asking if you had any siblings. I have one myself, and she is quite a character. We always had our healthy dose of rivalry, especially since she was always Daddy's favorite. Oh, you meant the question after that one? Oh, I was asking about your measurements, of course. Though I realize now that that might have been a bit of a bold thing to ask at such an early stage in our relationship. The question I asked between those two questions. I do not believe that I did. It must have been your imagination. Perhaps your subconscious caused you to hallucinate that I had asked you a deeply inappropriate question because of your unrelenting attraction towards me. Oh, no, I was only joking, of course. I would not be so crass as to make such an assumption. Though I would hope that my soothing disposition and majestic appearance would not be displeasing to you. I suppose I should change the subject. I sense by your silence that I have overstepped my boundaries and caused some offense. Let us discuss you again. Oh, it appears we have arrived at our destination. That was a surprisingly lengthy elevator ride. And
hey there, kiddo. You ready to go?
Sans, now, what on earth are you doing here?
I'm picking up my date. What does it look like?
Your date? Oh dear, it appears I have made quite the fool of myself.
Hold on, were you making moves on my date, Spider Boy?
I assure you I would never do such a thing, right? We were just having a pleasant conversation.
Is that true, kiddo? Huh. Good thing for you, Spider Boy. If you had, I would have had to invert your invertebrae. Get it? 'Cause you're a spider.
I get it.
So, how's your food, kid? Yeah, I can't complain about mine either. Grilby really stepped up his game ever since he opened this restaurant on the surface. Went from serving glam burgers in that cramped up bar to 5-star cuisine. I've even heard some rumors he's planning to turn it into a chain of restaurants. Wish I was making that kind of bank. Anyway, I'm gonna hit up the restroom real quick. If you happen to spot the waiter, could you ask them to go ahead and bring the check? Hey, you put that wallet away. This is my treat tonight. What kind of bonehead would I be if I made you pay after inviting you out? Okay, I'll be back in a bit.
So, how are you enjoying your date? Oh, now, please don't look so alarmed. I didn't follow you or anything. This reunion just happens to be a product of circumstance. Or coincidence. Whatever sounds more believable. You seem to be having a pleasant time, though, I must say. Have you and the skeleton been dating for long? Oh, no reason. I was just curious is all. Though if it weren't too serious between you two. Hmm? Oh, I didn't say anything. See, there you go, imagining things again. In truth, I'm rather glad I ran into you again like this. I was hoping to finish our conversation from earlier. After all, I find you quite fascinating, and I would love to get to know you better. Perhaps we could go somewhere for drinks and let whatever happens after
Is that the Spider Boy again?
Oh no.
Okay, you are officially cruising for a bruising, pal.
Now please, there's no need to get aggressive here.
Oh, you haven't even seen me get aggressive yet. I'm gonna show you the real meaning of a bad time. Yeah, you're right, kiddo. A gentleman knows better than to behave like this in front of his date. Sorry for letting my temper get the better of me.
See now, this can easily be resolved without violence.
Look here, Spider Boy. You need to go find somewhere else to be. My date obviously isn't interested in you, and I will not hold back if you continue harassing them. Come on, kid. I'll pay our ticket up at the front.
Oh, hello there, sleepyhead. Oh, now, please don't scream like that. I know this seems a tad bit odd for me to be in your bedroom like this, but I assure you I am only here with the best of intentions. You see, we spiders have a habit of getting into people's homes, but we're only trying to help, you see. I've already made 8 different webs in your house, specifically for catching bugs. I wouldn't want any of those pesky insects bothering you. Consider it a selfless gesture of our friendship. Why is your underwear drawer open? Oh, I wouldn't know it was like that when I got here. No, of course I was not rummaging through your undergarments while you slept. What sort of spider do you take me for? Though, while we're on the topic of underwear, I must say that I find your choice of sleepwear to be quite relevant to my interests. No, of course I'm not staring. It just appears that way because I am a spider and thus have no eyelids with which to blink. Well, except for when I blinked just now. Okay, perhaps that was a tiny white lie. But, can you blame me for staring? Oh, now, please don't get upset. I assure you that calling the police is not necessary. I mean, wait, that's your telephone? Strange. Mine looks nothing like that. Mine's a big box shape with numbers on the front. Darn thing doesn't work at all either. Every time I try to dial my sister's number on it, it just lights up and gets really hot on the inside. A microwave? Now, human, I think I would know the difference between a phone and a microwave, thank you very much. Well, regardless, I really wish you'd hear me out before you contact law enforcement. You see, I assure you that I mean you no harm. You see, I have been struggling to adapt ever since my brethren and I moved up here to the surface. My sister, she has expanded her original bake sale business into a successful supplier for department stores and bakeries across the country, and many other monsters have found ways to apply their talents to integrate into human society as well. But I'm afraid I have no such fortune in my endeavors. The whole tailor thing didn't especially work out, as you can probably guess, and I do not have any particular skills or talents of my own. After my sister found out that I almost ransomed one of her most valued customers to King Asgore, she refused to hire me into her new business either. All these manual labor jobs and minimum wage opportunities haven't worked out for me, and I just can't seem to find my place in this world. In all honesty, I'm a romantic at heart, and the only thing that has kept me going is my quest to find love. I'm afraid that the moment I encountered you in that elevator, my heart became quite enamored, and now I'm lost as to how I should proceed. I do not wish to burden or upset you with my affections, but I'm quite hopeless when it comes to such matters. Well, I appreciate your kindness and understanding in this situation. I hope that you would be willing to overlook my bold misbehavior and accept my good intentions. And if you feel up to bearing my children at a later time... Oh, okay, I'll stop. Sorry. Old habits die hard and whatnot. And I do apologize for waking you up at such an ungodly hour. Perhaps I could atone for my crimes by trying to help you fall asleep. Afterwards, I will see myself back out, and I promise to commit no further transgressions. I especially promise that I will not steal any of your undergarments before leaving. Very well. If you would not mind lying on your stomach, I can give you a relaxing back massage while my voice lulls you back to dreamland. Alright, here we are. Are you comfortable like this? Okay, let's see. You know, just recently I've also found myself quite interested in this human television of yours. Back in the underground, we had a rather strict limitation of programming available. In fact, the majority of airtime was being taken up by one rather flamboyant monster in particular. But it's such a surprise to see how y'all have all of these different channels, each with their own programming. It's quite a lot to take in. One show I've recently taken an interest in is this Twin Peaks program. It's quite unusual, I have to say. I'm really taken with this Agent Cooper character. He's quite the eccentric and very likable person. I mean, have you ever seen this program? I think it might be a couple decades old now, but they were running some reruns on one channel a couple days back. I didn't get to see the end of the show just yet, so I don't really know what happened, or, who actually killed Laura Palmer, but I'm hoping to find out at some point. I guess that's not exactly the most relaxing topic that I could talk about while you're trying to sleep. Well, let's see, what else could we talk about? I mean, it'd be easy if I had something like a crossword puzzle that I could read to you. Oh, that's already been done, huh? I wouldn't know anything about it. I don't think KIVA ever got around to re-uploading that video where that happened. Somebody should tell him to get to doing that already. Wait, was that breaking the fourth wall? I don't know. Who cares? Well, honestly, I guess I'm out of particularly interesting topics to discuss. I'd discuss my job if I have one, but again, that hasn't exactly been the most successful aspect of my life ever since I came back up to the surface. Oh, what's that? Massage therapist. I guess with my additional arms, that would actually be a fairly simple business for me to attempt. I'm not sure. Do I have to get a license for that? Oh, as long as I just make ASMR videos about it, I don't technically have to have a license. Well, that's good to know. You know, you wouldn't be the first human who's held me out in a bind like this, so I appreciate the advice. Well, right now you should focus on getting some rest, human. I'll take your suggestion to heart and see if I can get anywhere with it. I don't mean to suggest that. I meant I was trying to get anywhere with you. That would be entirely up to your discretion, not mine. Anyway, I hope you rest well, human. And, after you finish drifting off, I will see myself back out the door. Farewell for now.